Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your host Ashutosh once again with happy hours of coaching session Friday evening 8 p.m. Sorry, IST. I know a couple of sessions we have been missing because obviously the work from office has started back again. So back to office, back to my engagement. So obviously there are those meetings and all which are there, and again travel has started for me. But nevertheless, I will make an attempt to come on these sessions whenever I get a time. Whenever there's an opportunity, I'll definitely come on these sessions. I'm also inviting few of the external speakers on this forum to share their inputs. So we are also in the process of working with them so that it doesn't remain my show only. I will also be bringing external speakers. And today's topic is about coaching canvas. And obviously, a lot of people had asked me also, pinged me also when I had given this topic, when I had broadcasted this topic as to what exactly is a coaching canvas all about. What exactly do we mean by a coaching canvas? Or what do you intend to cover in this topic called as coaching canvas? So I will reveal it as we move along, and it may not be possible to cover all the elements of a coaching canvas. Obviously 45 minutes, 45 minutes is a very short time to cover all the elements of coaching canvas. But nevertheless, whatever is possible, I will try to cover whatever are the tools which I have been using. I will try to cover them in the coaching canvas which is there. Okay, so that's what my intention is, or that's what my objective is, to cover the maximum possible tools which as a coach you require in your journey, is what I will try to cover. So for the uninitiated, who am I? I'm Ashutosh Bhatodekar, working as an enterprise agile coach, a mentor, a speaker in various conference events. And I do love to talk in conferences. The immediate conference which I'm attending is on 11th of November in Delhi NCR. So if you happen to be in Delhi NCR, you can meet me on 11th of November, which is next Friday. So which obviously means that our next Friday session won't happen because I will be in a conference. But I'm there in Agile NCR as one of the speakers. So do feel, in case you are attending the conference in person. In fact, this is my first conference in 3 years in person. So feel free to connect with me, feel free to meet me and network with me, and I'll be happy to have the discussion with you as a part of the Agile NCR conference. So that's a brief about me. I have a total of around almost now 20 plus years of experience. Last 10 years have been in the Agile coaching stream, in the Agile coaching world. And yes, as I said, I do love to give talks. I do love to write. I have written a lot of articles on DZone, on medium.com, and also on LinkedIn articles. And of course, conference talks is something which I love. So that's where I said I was eagerly waiting for the actual physical conferences to open. So now that I've got an opportunity, I'll be in Delhi NCR, as I said. And obviously coaching is my, I would say, my passion, I would say. And that's why you find me coaching people one-on-one, in a group coaching. I do a lot of coaching activities also. So that's in brief about myself. And yes, I mean, I consider myself as a coaching partner. So whosoever coaching I take, I consider that to be my coaching partner. We call it as a partnership in coaching. It's not basically a coach-coachee relationship formal per se, but it's a the coachee partnership is what I call. I also have a YouTube channel where I have almost 120. This will be, I think, 124th video, which will go on the channel. So do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be more than happy to get more subscribers. The link has been shared with you. And one thing I can definitely vouch for you, that you're getting something for free. You will learn something. You will learn a lot of techniques to not only crack interviews, but also use them in your day-to-day life as a coach. So that's about me. And what is this topic coaching canvas all about? Now, coaching canvas, the topic I gave was based on the fact that there are a lot of tools we use in our coaching journey. So I thought that in this short time of 35 to 40 minutes, I will cover some of the important tools which I personally use in a coaching transformation. And these tools I use in various, I would say, timelines of coaching. So some tools are used at the start of the coaching activity. Some tools are used continuously during the coaching activity. And some tools are actually also used towards the end. So I will try to cover some of these tools which are used in the coaching journey which we have, right? So that was the intent of having this topic. And one of the coaching tools is already something which I have covered in my earlier session, the coaching wheel of change. There's a separate video of that available in detail, because that is the, I would say, the starting point, or that is a raw material for the other tools. So coaching wheel of change will extract some data from your coaching engagement, and that will be a raw material for other tools which I'm going to talk here today. Okay, so if you want to look at the coaching wheel of change, there's a separate video available on my YouTube channel. Feel free to connect on that channel, feel free to watch that video, and that is a separate dedicated video as to how a coaching wheel of change operates. Now, one more thing, don't get bogged down by the fact that this is only a set of tools which I'm going to talk about are only going to be used by an agile coach. No, when I talk about coaching, I first of all, fundamentally, I believe that the Scrum Master is a coach. Okay, so you don't need to be an agile coach to only use these tools. Even as a Scrum Master, you can use these tools. Even as I would say a change agent, you could be using these tools which are there. So not that you might get discouraged saying that, oh, I'm playing the role of a Scrum Master, so let me disconnect from here. No, as I said, the Scrum Master is a coach to the team. The Scrum Master is a coach to the product owner. And the Scrum Master is also a coach to the larger organization. So these tools are something which can be used as a part of your standard coaching repository, whether you're playing a role of a Scrum Master. In fact, as a product owner, also you can use these tools. Okay, so as a product owner, these tools are something which also you can use, or which also you can apply in your day-to-day life, right? So these are not something which is restricted only to an agile coach. These are tools which can be used by all the possible roles which are there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to let you know, although that is what I wanted to let you figure out before we move ahead, right? So that's one more important tip which I wanted to share with you, that these tools are something which can be used by any of the roles in an agile transformation. So primarily I'm going to talk about, and yes, one of the other tools in this coaching canvas has been inspired from Lean Canvas. So I'm sure many of you would be aware of what is a Lean Canvas tool. It's a very famous tool. The coaching canvas is something which has been inspired from the Lean Canvas which is there. And I'm going to show also the templates of these tools in a visual collaboration software called Mural. Okay, so that's what I'll be showing as a part of this. Of course, each tool has got a workshop on its own, right? So when you're doing a coaching session, each tool will be a workshop of almost 1.5 to 2 hours is what you will do, right? I mean, so when, let's say you decide to use brainstorm and idea prioritization, that will be a workshop. That will be a separate workshop what you'll have to conduct for 1.5 to 2 hours. Similarly, the other tool, right? Importance / difficulty matrix. That itself will be a workshop. Coaching wheel of change itself is a workshop by itself. Future headlines is a brainstorming session, what you will have to take into account, right? And of course, coaching canvas is again a brainstorming session, what you will have to do. So on that note, let us start with our discussion. So what the format will be that I will first walk you through these tools, and then I will open. Yeah, so the format will be that I will first walk you through all these tools, and then I will open the floor for any questions which are there. So any queries, clarifications, or questions, I'll be opening up the floor for that. Okay, so one of the first tools in your coaching journey, in fact, even before I cover this tool, let me quickly cover what is this coaching wheel of change, because as I said, this is the collector. This is an input or a funnel in which all the ideas will be captured or trapped, and then they will be funneled through the remaining tools. Now, coaching wheel of change is a personal coaching framework which is there. Okay, and this has been developed by the very famous guru Marshall Goldsmith. Now, what is this tool, to put it in a simple way? As I said, there's a 30 minutes video on this available on my channel. You can watch it in detail. But to put it in a very simple perspective, this has got 4 quadrants to it. A positive quadrant and a negative quadrant, as you can see, positive and negative. And then it has got something called as things you would like to change and things you would like to keep doing. Okay, so what you do in a coaching session with this tool is that when you sit with your team, or as a coach, when you go into a transformation engagement, you observe your team very, very carefully. what you do is you create a laundry list, or you create a bucket list of items what you have observed. For example, you will observe so many things about your team, right? The team what you're coaching, you will observe so many things about the team, and you create a bucket list or a laundry list of those items which are there. As I said, this can be used in a personal coaching space also, but I have used it in an agile way of working. So if you look at this slide, let's say on the right hand side, what you see is a bucket list of items what you have identified. Now, when you look at these items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, A to K, you will find that some items, some elements are really good in the team, and there are some elements which are not so good. Okay, so for example, element F from an empowerment perspective is not good, right? Team members are being given tasks rather than selecting themselves, right? We say that as coaches we should empower our team, but here you see that the project manager or a leader is assigning the task to the team, right? Or let us say the daily scrum getting extended by 7 to 8 minutes, right? Definition of ready exists but rarely visited. Okay, so two out of three teams have got large spillovers. Team have a plan in place for automating test cases. So as you can see, it's a mixed bag of items what you have. As a coach, when you observe these items, you put them in the relevant quadrant. For example, things which are positive and things which are negative. So the first level of classification you will have to do from this initial capture is that what are the things which are positives, what are the things which are negative. Okay, once you do this, okay, then you basically involve the team. I mean, this is entirely a team exercise what you do. You don't do it individually. You involve the team and you ask them, okay, which things you would like to preserve as it is. So obviously things which are positive we would like to preserve, we would like to maintain those, right? Which things you would like to eliminate, some wrong things which are happening in the transformation, which are the things you are going to eliminate. So that is what you will put it in the elimination quadrant. Okay, which are the new things you would like to add apart from this list, bucket list of A to K? Which are the things you would like to add into it, right? That will come in the creating quadrant which is there. Now the interesting piece is this area. Okay, this is a very, very interesting area. The teams know that these are negative things, but they still continue to accept them. Okay, there could be multiple reasons for that. So, for example, it could be that they don't have the bandwidth right now to make that change, or they feel that for some time we will have to live with this. So although it's a negative thing, for some time we will have to live with this or make peace with this. Okay, a very classic example, when we do this tool, when we use this tool in our personal coaching journey, let us say someone is a coach and I'm a coachee. For example, as a coach, the person will provoke me to open up, right? And as a coachee, I say that, you know what, I smoke. I know it's a bad habit, but I smoke. But I like to continue to do that for some time because I feel that there are other, I know it is impacting my health, but I have made a peace with it. Okay, maybe I am in a false zone of that, but I have decided to make peace with it. As a coachee, I know that cigarette smoking is injurious to health, but still I have decided to make peace with it. So something similar you could have in your transformation. You know that it is happening in a wrong way, but you decided to make a peace with it. So this is a coaching wheel of change, which actually helps you to classify the items in the 4 quadrants. And then you decide, okay, which quadrant will help you, which quadrant you have to take first, which quadrant you have to take later. So this is just an example of a slide where this coaching wheel of change is used for personal coaching, right? So if you identify some personal attributes of a person, like coming late to office, an avid reader, organized person, this is how in reality it is used. So Marshall Goldsmith, when he created this framework of coaching wheel of change, he actually talked more from a personal coaching perspective. But in my coaching journey as an agile coach, I have actually contextualized this into an agile way of working. Okay, so thanks to Michael Goldsmith, I've tried to contextualize it into the agile way of working or an agile world. As I said, this will give you a lot of, I mean, when you use this in a transformation, you will see at least 25 to 30 sticky notes, each sticky note having an observation about a team. And then you will try to position it in positives, negatives, keep doing or change something. And then the 4 elements under it, creating something new, eliminating something, accepting something as is, and preserving. So you will continue to do that. You'll continue to do that as we move along, right? So this is the container. This is a container where we get all the elements under it. That is a container what we have, right? As I said, this will be the kind of a initiator for the other things to be there. So if you look at now, I'm going to show you a mural board. So I'm a big fan of this mural board. When I do this exercise in a team setting, what I do is I have this coaching wheel of change here. I ask team members to use sticky notes to place it here and write. Okay, so this is how we use it. I mean, this is the exercise which we do where we share this link and team members will use the sticky note and they can type in something, right? For example, one of the important things that they would like to add is, let's say, improve automation. So they will put it here. They will put it here as a part of this, that the automation needs to improve, something like this. Okay, so this is how we use it in the mural board. This is how we go ahead and contextualize this exercise or use it in the mural board. So this is a template. Obviously, you can create either a blank template in mural and import pictures like this. Like this coaching wheel of change is not available in mural. It's not a standard template, but you can use it. Or you can use a predefined template, which I'm going to talk about ahead, right? These are predefined templates which you can use in the mural board, which are there, about which, of course, we'll be talking as we go along, right? But generally, I'm a big fan of mural, even in a coaching exercises. I do use mural as one of the tools. And obviously, this is something which has become more popular in the COVID time because everyone was virtual. But now also when I do a coaching session in an office setting, although it's a workshop kind of a setting where I'm the facilitator and participants are sitting, they obviously, I give them an access to the mural link and they come on mural and then they do this exercise. As I said, this itself will take 2 hours to do. If you want to really do that exercise, this will actually take 2 hours to do that entire exercise. Okay, so that's one of the tools what we have, which is called as the coaching wheel of change, which acts as an input for the other tools which are there. Okay, now let us say my coaching wheel of change identifies 20 to 25 improvement items. We all know that it is not possible to take all of them in one go. Okay, it is not possible to take all of those 25 items, right? I mean, it's not that we want to rush into change, right? We would like to give some time. We would like to give some time to our team to figure out which one they would like to use, which one they would not like to use. So definitely we need that kind of a input to be given to the team. So one of the tools which is used is called as brainstorm and idea prioritization. So from a coaching wheel of change, let's say I get 20 items, which idea to pick up? There's a tool available. And again, this can be done through facilitation. This can be done through a joint exercise with the team. And let me show you how this tool looks like, or how this tool is shaping up on the mural board. And let me take you back to the mural board here. And this is how this tool looks like. Okay, so if you look at this, no, not this one, sorry. Where is that tool gone? Yeah, it is at the bottom, I think. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this one, brainstorming and idea prioritization tool. So this is a standard template which is available, and this is a standard mural template, as I said, which is available. There are series of steps what you have to follow. Okay, so you have to obviously invest a lot of time in preparation. You have to gather the team, you have to set the goal, and you have to explain them how this tool is to be used. So the first element is define your problem statement. So the problem statement might be that we have too many ideas to improve, or we have too many things to improve in our backlog. So which one we should be picking up? Which of these ideas is what you should be picking up? And let us say I have 9 members or 8 members agile team, right? We all know that agile teams are in single digit, right? We have an 8-member agile team. Each person gets an area. Each person gets an area to write down that, okay, so let us say this is Ajit. He will write down. Let us say this is Ashutosh. He will write down his area. So it's not that you have to focus on others. You have to focus on your box. Each person will write down what are the top 8 or 9 ideas we should be picking up. So out of the 25 ideas, which are the top 9 ideas, or you can even reduce it. You can even make it 6 or 5 if you want. You can accordingly adjust it. You write down, and then either you do a voting or you try to find out which is the most common idea to be done Okay, so that is what we need to do as a part of this. So I think Subhash, I already mentioned this is a template available in Mural. This is not my template. Okay, I think I already mentioned that just a few minutes back, that this is a standard Mural template which is available, but you can use it, you can customize it, you can adapt it. So likewise, there are many templates available in Mural. Okay, I think that was a question from Subhash. I've just quickly answered that. It's a standard Mural template which is available, which you can refer to. The whole idea about this is that it will help you to understand what is the pulse of the team. What exactly is your team thinking about, or what is the pulse of your team is what is the whole idea about it. And then you try to group ideas, the most voted ideas or the most common ideas which are coming up. And then you prioritize. Okay, these are the top 5 ideas. These are the top 6 ideas. You then prioritize it, and then you get up, then you decided, okay, these are the ideas what I will be working upon, or these are the top 4 or 5 elements from the coaching wheel of change which I will be referring to or which I will be using. Okay, and of course the prioritization happens. So group ideas and then prioritization. Again, you can use techniques like voting. You can also use a technique called as Delphi technique, by the way. I'm pretty sure you're aware about what is Delphi technique. Are you aware about Delphi technique? Delphi technique is you anonymously ask people. You don't basically open up the floor. You anonymously ask people the 9 ideas and then you place it here in this template. So rather than exposing this full template, because when you're using this, you can see what others are writing. Okay, but you can use a Delphi technique. You can ask people to share their ideas in a one-on-one chat with you, and then you can copy paste these ideas. It will be a little overhead for you, but that also can be used just to reduce any biasness. Okay, or just to show the ensure that there is no biasness. You can use a Delphi technique for doing it. Okay, so this is one of the other tools which is there. And again, this is also available in another tool called as Miro. So by the way, Mural and Miro are like cousin sisters. They are more or less having similar features. You can use any of these tools to drive your coaching conversations or to facilitate your coaching conversations around it, right? So that's a Mural or a Miro board, a brainstorm and idea prioritization. Okay, now the next one is a very interesting tool. I mean, this you should only use when you have sufficient information about the coaching backlog item, what you are trying to implement. It is called importance/difficulty matrix. Again, it's a standard template available in Mural. Okay, it's something which is provided by Mural. You can use it. It's called importance difficulty matrix. And let us try to see what exactly does that tool do. Okay, so to put it in a very, very simplistic manner, and to show you also how this tool works. Okay, so on x-axis you have the impact which the transformation will bring. So if you implement this this item, what is the impact it will bring? And impact need not always be in dollar terms. The impact can be in any of the terms, like for example, how much will be the efficiency generated, how much will be the cost saving, that is one part of it, how much will be the quality index, whether it will improve or not, how much will the automation coverage improve. So that is the potential impact which this idea will give you. And on y-axis you have the difficulty level, again on a scale of low to high. So this goes from low to high, low impact to high impact, and low difficulty to high difficulty. Okay, so now if you look at it, if you look at quadrant 1, which is there, okay, low impact but low difficulty, you may want to include it. You may want to include this low impact but low difficulty which is there. So what I'll do is maybe when I'm doing this exercise with my team, I will use these elements, I'll fill in, and I will classify them in the 4 quadrants. So this one will be a kind of a quick win, but 100% of your priority cannot be for this. Okay, because the impact as such is very, very low. It's a low-hanging fruit, I agree, but you cannot survive just on a low-hanging fruit, right? You also need a dessert. You also need a main course in a meal, right? So just having, just saying that, okay, my first innovation iteration, I will use only quick wins may not help. Okay, it is low impact. It is easy to do, definitely, but the impact is very, very low, which is there. Now look at the one which is on the top. If you look at the one which is on the top, it has got a low impact and the difficulty is also very high. So probably these are the elements which I will not keep it. I mean, this will be the last item which I will do probably if there's a holiday season in my client counterpart and then my team is idle, then probably I will pick up, but it is the least priority which I'll be picking up. Okay. So it will be a low priority, which I will be working upon. High difficulty and the impact is also low. The best sweet spot to be is in the moonshot and this one. In fact, this is the best sweet spot, sorry, best bet. High impact, but low difficulty. So items which can be implemented quickly, items which can be done on a fast basis or quickly, and they have very high impact but very low difficulty as such. Okay, so this is a best bet what you can do, right? This is something which will give you quick ROI or a quick return around it. And then of course the top one, which is a moonshot, high difficulty, but the impact is also high, risk reward kind of a thing, high risk, high reward, right? Something like that. It's a moonshot which is there. But obviously my first priority will be quadrant number 4, which is the best bet, because I'm investing something very, very low. And in that low investment, I'm getting a maximum return out of it. So this can be another tool. Again, the feeder for this is the coaching wheel of change. Out of the feeding elements which I get from a coaching wheel of change, this is what I will be doing. Okay, this is an exercise which I'll be doing as a part of this impact or the impact and the difficulty matrix, as we call it, right? Impact difficulty matrix which we have. Incidentally, what I've been told is that bakery owners, they actually use this kind of a model. Okay, bakery owners and sweet owners, right? And obviously if it is Diwali time or Christmas time, they will obviously go for the moonlight, sorry, not the moonlight, the moon shot, and basically the best bets which will be there, right? And quick wins is something which they will work on throughout the year, right? Throughout the year, they will focus on quick wins. But especially during the festival time and all, they will focus on the best bet and the moonshots which are there. Okay, so this is another interesting tool what we have, which is the impact and the difficulty matrix what we have. Okay, now the next tool which I'm going to talk about is a tool which, as a coach, you will be using it majorly. Okay, and you will come out with the data elements from this tool, for this tool, based on what you have seen in the coaching journey. Okay, based on what you see in the coaching journey, or based on when you interact with the team, what are the elements you have observed. That is the tool which you will be using. And that tool actually is a very interesting tool. Okay, it's a very interesting tool which is there, and that is what is called as the future headlines tool. There's a very interesting tool called future headlines. And I'll tell you what exactly is this tool all about, or what is the benefit of this tool, right? I don't know if anyone has heard about this tool, and it is called as a future headline tool, what we call it, right? And let me show you what exactly this tool is. And again, the method which they have used for creating this tool might not be the one which you would be using. Okay, so you could be using a totally different method than the one which they have given. Okay, so and when I say they, it's the standard mural template which I'm talking about. Okay, so that method could be totally different than the one which you are using. Okay, so let me show you what is this future headline tool which is there. Okay, now put it in a very, very simple words. And let me bring it up here. The future headline tool. Future headline tool is your coaching vision for the transformation. It's your statement what you are making as a coach. So let us say you're in a coaching engagement. This is not a statement what you will make after one day of coaching the team or one day of coaching in your engagement. This is a statement which you will make after you have a detailed discussion with all the stakeholders. You understand what are the challenges, you understand what are the things which are happening, what are the relationship the team has with the customer, with the client, what are the coaching attributes being done. And then you will come out with this statement. And one of the ways in which it can be done is using this STEEP model. What is STEEP model? What are the social factors which are coming out in this coaching engagement? What are the technological factors? Similar to PESEL. PESEL, if you know, political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental. So similarly, these are the STEEP factors which are there: social factors, technological factors, economic factors, environmental factors, political factors. What are these factors which are influencing this engagement? And as a coach, what is the best case scenario for you? What if your coaching succeeds, what will be the best case scenario? So it's like a 3-point estimate what we have in project management, like optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely. What will be the most likely or a business as usual scenario? And what will be the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario could be that you could be a failure there as a coach. You might want to document that this could be that one coaching engagement where howsoever you try, you may not succeed. Now, this is a tool which personally when I use, I don't reveal it. Okay. This is a tool which I keep it to myself. Okay. Or I might share it with only one or two key stakeholders. This is not a tool or this is not a sheet which can be broadcasted to the wider audience. It's as secret as a nuclear document, I would say. But at the same time, I will share it with few of the key account stakeholders, the leadership team, the delivery heads, etc. That based on my analysis, this is what the picture is today. And it's a snapshot. It's like your photograph, right? 5 years back, you look something. Today, you're looking something else, right? We all look different, right? Over the period. So this is something which a photograph, which probably I will take every 15 days and 1 month and share it with only 2 or 3 people. This is what I'm feeling as a coach. This is also kind of my, I would say, appraisal in a way, or what self-appraisal, if I were to put it in a right way. This is more like my self-appraisal, what I'm seeing in this tool. What is the best possible scenario? What is the worst possible scenario? And what is the most likely scenario which is there? And again, you can replace this as steep with pestle if you want. You can replace it with VUCA. What are the volatility things? What are the uncertainties in the engagement? What are the complexities? What are the ambiguities in that engagement? You can replace it with that, right? So instead of using a steep, you can go in for those kind of an acronyms which are there. Okay, so that's one of the important tools what we have, or that's one of the important activity what we have as a part of this tool which is there, which is called as a headline. This is called as a headline, the future headline, not today's headline. So it's like printing newspaper 5 years down the line, right? This is what, and again, a lot of prognosis goes into this, lot of, I would say, visualization goes into this. Not everything what you say is going to be right, right? And many things, in fact, might turn out to be wrong. But as a coach, this is what you think, this is what you feel as a part of this transformation is what this particular tool is going to help you. And definitely, I would recommend all of you to use this tool. I will recommend all of you to implement this tool or basically refer to this tool. And I'm sure you will be able to get a lot of inputs from this particular tool, which is called as the future headline. Again, a standard template which is available. It's a standard template which is available in Mural. I don't know if any of these tools is available in Miro, but definitely one of the tools, the business idea prioritization, is also available in Miro. But nevertheless, it is very easy to create a template. It is just a 2x2 grid, and you can just attach labels to it and use it. Okay. So those are some of the tools which are there. So let me go to the last tool of the day. As I said, it's not possible to cover all the tools. If I get a very positive feedback about this session, I might even conduct a workshop on each of these tools separately. So definitely that's my plan. It depends on the feedback on this session that if you need a workshop on this, so do let me know. Each of this tool can go into a separate workshop of, as I said, 1.5 to 2 hours, which is there. Okay, so the last tool which we have, and that is what I'm going to cover now, is a business model canvas. Okay, so business model canvas, as I said, is a tool which I have derived from the lean canvas. So lean canvas is a very popularly used tool to identify lean practices. So from that, I have created a coaching tool called as a coaching canvas, and that's where the name of this session also came. But actually, coaching canvas is that entire mural board where all the canvases are kept, right? So coaching canvas is a tool which, as a coach, I will fill in, and I can also do it before the future headline tool, which I told you. So my future headline tool can pick up elements from this or vice versa. Elements of this can come in from the future headline capture, which I do. So what is this tool all about? This tool is a snapshot of your coaching engagement, like who are our users? Okay, what are their problems? What is the unique value proposition I'm trying to bring in this transformation? What is the coaching approach I'm trying to bring? What are the key metrics which we should be tracking, right? Do we have any other alternative approach? What are the business challenges which this team is facing? what coaching techniques I'm planning to use, especially the coaching model, whether it's a grow model of coaching or the achieve model of coaching or the Oscar model of coaching, which is that model of coaching I'm planning to use or techniques. What are the channels through which I'll be doing the coaching, right? Will it be a one-to-one face-to-face coaching? Will it be a virtual coaching? Will it be on a telephone? What kind of a channel I'm using? What business impact I'm expecting based on this coaching which I do. So once I do this coaching, what will be the impact to the business, or whether it will be a positive impact, whether it will be a negative impact. So what's the impact to the business I'll be getting? And if you look at the bottom, there is something called as positives and negatives. So what are the positives I have observed? Not everything is bad in an engagement. I personally believe when you go in for any engagement as a coach, not everything is bad. Okay, there are some positives also. So start with positives always. Even when you're giving a feedback to the team, there's a very famous technique called as sandwich technique, if you would have heard about it. So there's something called as a sandwich technique, which is there. You start the conversation with something positive, and you also end the conversation with something positive, like a sandwich. The middle layer is where the entire cream or the butter lies, where you give a candid feedback about the person or about the organization or about the engagement which is there. So always use the sandwich technique for giving a feedback, where the top and the bottom layers are positives and the negativity, or I won't even call it as a negativity. I would call it as an improvement item. So improvement items are the layer in the middle of the sandwich which is there. So that's the business model canvas for you, or that's a tool which actually helps you to create or have the entire story of the transformation on one page. This is crafted on a single page. This is not even extending beyond a page. And this is again a tool, as I said, where the feeder for this will come from the coaching wheel of change. The feeder for this might come from the future headlines, or the feeder from this can go into a coaching headline, the future coaching headline or the future headline of the engagement which is there. So this of course is a tool which I have created. This is something which I have crafted. This is something which I have used based on my experience, is where I have used. Again, as I said, when I conduct a workshop, how to use this tool, we take a case study, we take a use case from the industry. We use that use case as a reference to fill this. So imagine that you're going into a transformation engagement. So what are the challenges you're likely to face? So I take a use case around it. So let me show you a sample use case, which I normally take when I'm doing this kind of an exercise for any of these tools. In fact, for any of these tools, when I go, there's a proper use case which I take, or a case study which I take, which will help people to understand that, okay, how this tool is to be used. So something like this. So there's a digital transformation case study about an organization, a banking organization, going in for a transformation, and you being a coach, you being the coach in this as engagement, what are the challenges you're likely to face? So this is you. Sorry, this is you. This is you. And when you're interacting with the CIO, when you're interacting with the CEO, or when you're interacting with the client partner, what are the challenges you're likely to face in this transformation? That is a case study, what we do it, right? I mean, we have to work on this case study. And this is just one of the case studies which I'm talking about, which is related to the banking industry. Likewise, there are many other case studies. Okay, so there's also a case study on the movie industry, the motion picture industry, which I have, right? Something like this. Okay, the motion picture industry, that and then of course using to, okay, by the way, this is another canvas which is their innovators compass, which I obviously did not cover today, but that also can be used. Okay, so banking industry, as I told you, motion picture industry. So those are the case studies of what I normally take. So you have to pick up a case study. You'll have to understand what that case study is in detail, and then you'll have to prepare these tools. Then you have to use these tools in order to come out with a backlog for you. I always believe that backlog is not something which only product owners use. In fact, as coaches, we need to have a backlog with us. We need to have a real transformation backlog, and we need help of these tools in order to understand and prioritize these backlogs. Okay, so on that note, I end my talk here for the day. As I said, it will be a 35 to 40 minutes talk, which will be there. I end my talk here on that note. But obviously, I will open the floor for any questions. So those of you who are on LinkedIn Live and YouTube, feel free to connect with me or type in your questions on the LinkedIn Live or on YouTube, and I'll be more than happy to basically answer those questions. I also have a YouTube channel, as I said earlier. I also have a Telegram group and a Meetup channel where you can connect and network further. And that's, of course, my LinkedIn profile for you. In case you would like to connect with me, I'll be more than happy to be connected with you. So on that note, I will open the floor for questions. If there are any questions, people who are on Zoom meeting can unmute yourself. I would appreciate if you can come on camera and ask a question. So you can unmute yourself and you can ask a question.
Hi, Ashutosh. Good evening. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, Subhash, actually you're breaking in between. I don't know, you're getting some breakage and disturbance. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, now it is better. Yeah, go ahead. Hello? Subhash, I can hear you now. No, I think there's some audio problem. Yeah, anyone else meanwhile? Anyone else has got any question?
I do have a question, please. First of all, thanks a lot for this particular wonderful session. See, now the challenge what we have in a real-time transformation is even to use these particular techniques and to get the insights, getting the time to use these techniques in a comfortable manner, and then creating a buy-in from the leadership to really use this technique. Say, for example, as you had rightly mentioned, one of the technique might take 2 to 2.5 hours to really block the time of the team and then get it filled, right? So just wanted to know from your perspective, how do you really have some conversation with them to convince them to get the time? Can you show some?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that definitely is a challenge. I mean, I think we as coaches know that, right? Getting a time, and as I said, right? I mean, they won't. I mean, if you set up a meeting, they won't even come, or they won't even like to attend these meetings. So yes, I mean, initially convincing them is a big challenge. You'll have to put it in a different way. I would say you will have to say that, okay, let's have a kind of a offsite workshop, or let's try to chill. We have been working in projects for so long. Let's go into a 2-hour session where we'll try to bring it, or where we'll try to use these, try to do some gamification around it. So you'll have to bring it in that subtle way. Openly, if you do it, they might say that we are busy, we have a client deliverable, we have so and so meetings which are there. Maybe you'll have to basically put it in a different way, that this is more like an offsite. This is more like my observations I would like to share. And yes, probably when you're new to the transformation, it will be difficult. I agree with you. Especially when you're first only 2 or 3 months in this transformation, it will be very difficult. But slowly, maybe you'll have to get few stakeholders into it, then the next few, something like that. And you might have to repeat it back with a group of people.
Okay. And just one more question. Yeah.
Yes.
Do we think that, we actually understand these techniques, for example, to coach a product owner or to coach the team? Yes, probably we can use this. But what about in terms of leadership coaching or kind of an executive coaching also? Do you see these things can be taken as a base platform, then customized accordingly, or how is that, please?
Yeah, you can use definitely coaching canvas with them. I don't know, I mean, I haven't used this idea, I mean, the impact of the difficulty matrix with them, but definitely coaching canvas is something which you can take to them. And the future headline, as I said, the future headline is a little risky, as I said, because you're telling them the worst case scenario, and they may not be inclined to hear that. Okay, like for example, if I go to a doctor and if I'm suffering from a critical disease, I'm not inclined to hear that from a medical professional, right? Howsoever bad the news is, I'm not inclined. So that you have to do with a pinch of salt, or you have to take it very carefully. So the worst case scenario, especially the business as usual, and the best case scenario, definitely you can take it to them.
Yes, Ashutosh. Thanks a lot, and truly respected. Cheers.
Thanks, Balaji. And first of all, thanks for joining. So Balaji himself is an agile coach, by the way. Just to let you know, he's also an agile coach, a transformation lead, and you would also see a lot of his posts on LinkedIn. By the way, I'm sure many of you would have interacted with him or seen his post. He keeps on regularly writing on LinkedIn. I've seen that. Yeah.
Gladly. Thanks.
So Subhash, I think there's some audio issue, Subhash. So can you type in your question if you don't mind, or you can post it later, because there's some lot of background noise I'm getting, Subhash, from your side. I don't know. There's an audio problem. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else has got a question? Anyone else? Anyone else? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Ashutosh. This is Pratibha.
Yeah, Pratik.
I wanted to understand, like, because if we see feeder is a wheel of change and all the observations in it. So I think that observations are going to be very important.
Yes.
This is just a query. I don't have a question.
Yes, they're going to be very important, and be careful before you expose these observations to the wider audience. You might be expected to be challenged. For example, they might say that, no, this is not true. What you have observed is not true. Or this is not something what is happening currently in the engagement. So be prepared to be challenged on this, especially from your team, especially when you're exposing these observations to the wider audience.
No.
So you have to be very careful. Yeah, you have to be very careful. You have to be doubly sure, before you expose this, especially the wheel of change.
Okay, yeah, got it. Almost every time sandwiching should be there, like pinch of salt or sandwich.
Yes, I'm a big believer of this sandwich technique, actually, right? I mean, don't start with the negative. Unfortunately, what happens is we start with the negative. We start telling what is all wrong. We should actually start with positive, then layer it, and then again end with a positive note. Yeah, sandwich. But yes, at the same time, you have to tell that it's not just bread, it is the inside material which is important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other question anyone has? Yeah, so as I said, we will continue to have these sessions. We'll continue. As I said, we are also trying to get in other speakers also into this forum. I mean, other external industry speakers. So keep watching the space, and all of you will be mailed the links which I told you about, the YouTube channel, about the LinkedIn group. We also have a LinkedIn group, and obviously the Telegram group. If you're interested, do join. Some of you are already members of the Telegram group, so do join. Fine, then if there are no further questions, I think we can end this session on this note. And so first of all, thanks everyone for joining this session. I hope this 45 minutes was worth its investment. Just to tell you, this was not a free session. Okay, you might have thought that this is a free session, but you have invested the most expensive thing you have with you, your time. You have invested 45 minutes with me, and I really value that investment. I hope you got the return on your investment. Okay, so thanks a lot. I call it, by the way, roti, return on time invested, roti. Okay, roti is a Hindi word for chapati, as you know, or bread, Indian bread. So I hope you got roti in that 45 minutes what you have. It's dinner time in India, so do go ahead and enjoy your dinner. So thanks a lot, and happy weekend and great learning to all of you. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.